Hey, you guys. So I'm back. There's a couple things I want to tell y'all that I found interesting as it relates to a couple visions and a dream that I had about this Hyperloop. I believe it was the Hyperloop train commuter thing that Elon Musk just came out. I seen a story about it on YouTube maybe yesterday, but I saw it on CBS News maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe even 2.5 weeks ago. But I had a dream about it the night before I saw it on the news on CBS Morning News. And the dream that I had thought was kind of weird because of course it was in an underground tunnel, and what happened was there were like these, now with them using the term pod, this is like a, what I call, it looked like a little hotel room or something just for an individual. And it had like one bed, a dresser, and it had some type of graffiti on the walls. So I don't know if people were living down there, or I just knew that they were like kind of like temporary houses or something. I guess you could call them like a pod. If you have a storage pod, they're like temporary. But now with them using that word, it kind of makes sense, and it kind of seemed as if people wanted to travel, they had to go in those individual rooms, not necessarily on this train thing that Elon Musk drove or is sending through the tunnel. I don't know if they stay down there and then they can get on this little train thingy. I don't know. It just seemed like the pod itself was the thing that people went into to travel, even though in the dream there was this train. They apparently, in the dream, they did this test, and they did a test run, and they were sending it. It seemed as if the train was going in reverse, and they did a test run, and something like there was some type of crash, and either I seen the results of the crash, like the debris. It wasn't like a whole bunch of debris. I just knew there was some type of crash. And it seemed as if I turned to look inside the pod because I was like, wow, these are, this is kind of whatever. This is kind of weird to be down here. We know they have underground bunkers. But the dream was focused around the thing. So I looked to the pod, and I looked back, and they had already cleaned up the debris. And I had a feeling that they were going to reveal this this train thingy, this hyperloop thingy, and they were concealing the fact that there was an accident had happened during the testing period. So it was just like, come on, let's clean this up. Not us, not me. I was observing them, just like, let's clean this up. So when people come down here tomorrow, they'll just think this thing runs smoothly. It was like their grand opening or something. So I'll keep an eye out on that. Also, there was some graffiti, now that I think of it. There was some graffiti on the wall, kind of like you would see at a skating rink or something. But I want to say that this graffiti, it was like a dark rainbow. Uh, it, it was graffiti, but it was like watercolors, and it would appear to have the colors of the rainbow, like red, blue, and what other color, like orange. I just remember there was these wide, bands that were kind of like wavy, kind of. And I want to say that Kesha had some type of graphic like that in her praying video. And someone and I were discussing that particular video, the symbolism and so on and so forth, and whether or not she was genuine and so on and so forth. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. So the next thing is Rick Wiles. He put out a video, and the title of the video was something to the effect of, the UN is using eye scanners to scan the refugees, I don't know, maybe the Syrian refugees, to give them, in order for them to get food. And it caught my attention because the thumbnail was green, and the pinpoint was on the eye, on the iris, but the color was green, and it reminded me of that vision of the laser beam that I had on my pinky, you guys. So this could be a twofold vision, but the technology that I think it has to do with the technology, the laser weapons that the military is using, and perhaps now this is pointing to this eye scanning beast system technology that they're using on these poor refugees in order for them to get food. Also, one more thing. Three Hearts Church, and Rick Wiles' video is an hour and some change. If you want to watch it, that's fine. I wanted to bring it to your attention because of the vision. But Three Hearts Church also did a video, and I haven't watched her videos in a very, very long time because her videos tend to be over an hour to 2 hours. And this particular video, I only watched up until 30 minutes. So I just want to forewarn you of that. Generally, in all her videos that I've watched, they have, she seems to be on point with what she's saying. So I just want to pick that, let y'all know that I haven't finished watching the video. But what she is doing is exposing false teachers Perry Stone and Johnathan Cahn. I've heard some things here and there about Perry Stone, but I haven't really heard too much about Johnathan Cahn. And in this first 30 minutes, she is talking about Perry Stone, and what she's specifically talking about is him using gematria, and how he often references the traditions of the law, basically, and the rabbis, and she thinks that he's alluding to the Zionists and the Kabbalistic system and the Talmud. And I found it kind of interesting because I just did that video on 1 Corinthians. God uses the foolish things to confound the wise men of the days, the disputers, those who did use the Bible codes and the trying to find the hidden and allegorical meaning of scriptures to take them out of context, and which stupefied them from keeping, from getting the revelation of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So she goes into that a little bit. It was pretty interesting. It wasn't boring, and I want to finish watching it, but I wanted to give the disclaimer that I haven't finished watching it, and I'll leave the link below. She also talks about the Hebraic numbers, and she points some things out. One more thing caught my eye was she had the Hebraic number chart. I didn't know there were only like 58 numbers assigned to the letters. I thought that, you go from A to Z like we would do in the alphabet. But when she had the chart up there, the Hebraic number for 8 was up there, and it reminded me of that dream that I had with the Hebraic number 8, or that looks like the symbol for pi. I think pi is a number that keeps going on, 3.41 or 3.144 or something. I can't remember, you guys. I'm almost 40 years old, so I can't remember what pi stands for. I just remember 3.1 or something, and it keeps going on. So she brings out some interesting things. I guess it's worth the I think it's worth it to watch. I've seen a few things about Perry Stone that was kind of off, and so I want to finish listening to her video, and if it's worth discussing, I'll bring it back. But it was very interesting, very timely for what I have been studying, and just something. I think Carrie Ann did a video about Perry Stone and a couple other false mega teachers. So, I can't lie. I used to watch Perry Stone back in the day. I literally don't have time to watch TV anymore, but I did used to watch Perry Stone. It was pretty interesting. But she points out something that I really didn't catch on to. And she makes the point that these people, the Talmudists and the Kabbalistic view and the this and the that will make you think that you can't read the Bible for yourself. Yes, there are some things that you can study, do a deeper study on, but these hidden codes and this and that, and a lot of us refer back to the Hebrew. I do, in the Aramaic, but she's making the point that these teachers are actually profiting off this, and she doesn't know his motives, whether he's working with the Zionist Jew to push an agenda. There's a Hebraic roots movement also going on, and I'm going to finish watching it because it just may tie into the next study that I do on true wisdom. Okay, you guys, God bless y'all. I'll leave all the links that I spoke of below, and y'all have a good night. Okay.